Hi with everyone, welcome to my video. Today I would like you to present the project 6. Well, here we have a table that can show us and clarify some things about the medical research with animals save lives. In the first side we have the animal model, and the second side we have the medical beneficial to people and humans. The first one is the dog. The dog is a really important animal in medical treatment because with it was possible to discover the insulin, and the dog is also used in the psychology research, as we already know, like Pavlov, and some behaviorism theories about how to study the mental health. We have the second one that is monkey. Monkey is really useful that we know, and it's because it is animal research because it has a really close characteristic to human beings. So thanks to the monkey was possible to discover the polio. Then we have mouse that it is possible to discover the drug vaccine, and the pig with two beneficial, as we can say in the table under here, and it is about to do the skin graft and also the computer assisting tomography. And then the last one is about the Zulas or rabbit. Rabbit is a usual animal in the cosmetical labs, and also because their skin is really have the same characteristics that our skin. So it was possible to the corneal transplants. And also the last one is the rat, that is an important part of the medical researches, because with this was possible the correction screening. Well, here we have some of the supporting reasons about use animal in some medical treatments. The first one is that all the scientific research had been able to advance all their knowledge using some animals and their experiments. As we already know, the human body is the most complex organism in the world. So with all these experiments was possible to understand better how happens all this process, how the organism connect their functions, and also study the animal health in the human health, in relating with the human health, and to form some hypotheses about the model or organism. The second one is about the drugs that are usually used in medical treatments. Is usually to find in the drugstore the insulin, the antibiotics, and maybe the vaccines for some virus, for the flu, for many things that happens before. So with the using of animals in experiments with them was possible to develop all the things that nowadays are inessential and also useful in their lives. Well, we have the opposing points and reasons about use animals in some experiments and some scientific researches. And the first one, and I consider that is the most conscious, reflected, um, an emotional point, is that humans and animals don't always react in the same way to a drug. It's really interesting, and as we already know, each person has a different way to react to a some chemical drug. So it's more dangerous that the differences without the reaction with a human being and with an animal. So it could be a reason that some medicines don't make it market in some days despite passing testing in animal, because it could be a fail. It could be very dangerous in some animals. It is the reason why some medical treatments say that they really have to be mentioned, this treatment by a doctor, by a professional. So the second one is that some people will say that the animals have not been as critical to medicine as a general treatment, because they are beings, and also they have rights. They suffer most of the times in some jails that it happens. They are exposed to many dangerous chemical to many experiments that could be a bit cruel. Over the 4 millions, according to some studies, animals procedures are currently carried of each year in UK biomedical researches. It's important that it's really important to know in this case that a big part of animals that are taken in order to test it, in order to experiment, kill it in the end. So animals can feel pain and fear just we do some things as we do. And another point that are opposing to use animal in this treatment is that we accept abnormally, but it could be possible to know how the animals reacted, how the animals feels with all things that are exposed daily. Well, about my point of view, I don't agree with the organization's point of view about the good use of animals in some medical treatment, in some experiments, because they have rights, they have the possibility to feel pain, they suffer daily. They really, it's not far enough to them just studying, staying in a jail all the time. And I really agree with the 3R that is a solution, a suggestion to how to reduce all these animal treatments using in medical companies, because it's important that most of the medical treatment has been tested, but there are some different ways to do that. And the first R is about replace. It is a mean where the possible that experiments using animal with some alternative techniques as a cell culture, that it could be a good option in order to study many things, in order to study how the body react, how the skin react, and some reactions with chemical treatment. The second one is about reducing the numbers of animals used, but improving experimental techniques and sharing information with others, researchers, and in the same time reduce all these researchers that really need to use animals. They can use another techniques, or they can focus their research in a different point of technique. And the last one is about refining the way that the animals are cared for to help and minimize the stress or pain, minimize the suffering that they feel all the days. Thank you.